There's a reason that we tell you to always vet and make sure that the tools that you depend on to save your life work. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson. Today's lesson involves an officer in Santiago, Chile, and it's going to teach us some very important lessons about why we continue to harp on people and tell them to vet their tools, to make sure that your handgun or your rifle works every single time, because if it doesn't, it could make you stay in the danger zone and even cost you your life. This one comes out of Chile, and we see this motorcycle officer here. These guys are wanted armed robbers, and so he gets his gun out and in the fight, and he tries to take out a wheel. That doesn't work because the gun's not working. It's still not working. He's still having problems with his firearm, and they're trying to get these guys to stop, and the guys are trying to get away from him through traffic. It's not going to work. But you notice here how many times this officer, his firearm is just not in the fight. There is nothing that he is going to do to get it in the fight until such time as he decides to use it as a bludgeoning instrument to take out the windshield so that the guys can't see through it. Now they're going to kick that windshield in, and finally there's enough officers around that this one is over. I do want to go back and think about some very significant lessons here for not just law enforcement, but CCW as well. And the first thing we want to think about here is I wouldn't suggest using your firearm as a bludgeoning tool. And then he decides there's the first shot and it doesn't work, so he tries to get the gun back in the fight, and he racks and reassesses, tries it again, rack and reassess. There's another one, rack and reassess, and now he's going to try to figure out, man, do I have a magazine in this gun? Guys, you got to vet your firearm. You got to know if that firearm is going to work in the moment. I also notice that he has absolutely terrible muzzle discipline here. He keeps muzzling everybody around him in the moment. You got to know firearm safety and not putting your muzzle on somebody who doesn't need to be muzzled. Finally here he's checking and going, wait a minute, do I have one in the chamber? Doesn't look like he has a round in the chamber to me. There must be a problem with his magazine. That's why when we say it's not just rack and reassess, after that first one especially, maybe rack and reassess, but then strip that magazine out, get a new one in there, and then get after it. So knowing how to do a malfunction clearance, knowing how to continue to diagnose your gun and get it in the fight, and knowing that your gun is going to work in a fight are incredibly important parts of covering your ASP.